Alright, we're live. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about comic books and stuff. It's going to be a fun episode, and tomorrow I'm going to... talk about tomorrow anyway, so... We're going to talk about Titans, issue 40, The Teen Titans Will Die. Storytime with the Joker and Batman 91. We're going to talk about that one. Is Mira's baby a timeless child? And, let's see. We're also going to talk about, other crazy things, such as, DC Comics works from home starts Monday. All Warner Media staff worldwide are encouraged to stay home over the fears of coronavirus. People are really getting paranoid about that, so we're going to talk about that as well. So, so anyway, let's get the intro started, and we'll come back with discussions. So here it is. Alrighty. So anyway, I had to get water. I'm drinking non-stop water today, because... Anyway, tomorrow I will be doing a Monday show. I got a doctor's appointment. I'm getting blood work done, and I'm getting my heart checked out. You know, just getting everything checked out to see how I'm doing, like I said. We took a short hiatus for a while from the show, because my uncle passed away. My uncle died of heart problems, and heart disease and heart issues are hereditary in the family, my dad's side. And, so, I'm getting my heart checked out, you know, seeing how I'm doing. I've been losing weight. I've been trying not to, eat bad food and processed shit. I'm trying to stay away from that. I'm trying to stay healthy and trying to basically outlive everybody. That's my main goal, you know. It's what I've been doing. Anyway, so for me, I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to stay healthy and stay lean and trying to outlive everybody. That's my main goal in life. So, I know a lot of things have been going on in the world. The crazy coronavirus and the insanity, the paranoia. I will say this, the paranoia has been doing more damage than the virus itself. I know some people are going to be like, well, you know, people just died in Italy, a ton of people. A lot of people died. I know that, but paranoia will kill people more than the virus. I went to Walmart last night. I seen this post, this retweeted post of this woman sharing that her boyfriend went to Target, or Target, as some people call it, to get bread. They're out of bread. They're out of soup. They're now out of pain medicine. Tylenol, Advil, Aleve. Out of it. Band-Aids, first aid kits. Out of it. It's like the fucking Walking Dead going on. It's literally like the Walking Dead. Except there's no zombies. None of it. No zombies, nothing. Not even the crazy looking beings from Silent Hill. None of it. This entire atrocity of paranoia of coronavirus is getting really fucking ridiculous. Stores close early because I had to stock the shelves. Because everybody is coming in there for fucking toilet paper. You know how ridiculous it is? You know how ridiculous looking it is to walk down the toilet paper aisle and there's no fucking toilet paper? No paper towels, no Kleenexes. It was a miracle. I found my dude wipes. It was a miracle. I needed that stuff. Cleaning stuff's gone. Bleach. Hand sanitizer. Luckily I found hand sanitizer. In fact, my threw it at me. Use this. Yeah. 49 cents for hand sanitizer. But you know how ridiculous it is? That everything that I'm saying is gone. It's almost like we're living in Bernie Sanders' just wet cum dream of socialism. That old fucker probably jerks off to the idea of socialism. While looking at a photo of Venezuela and Fidel Castro. We're living in the fucking socialist dreams that Pelosi, Schumer, and Sanders wants in this world. How much items can you buy? How much paper towels you can buy? How much water you can have? How much bleach you can have? How much paper towels you can have? How much toilet paper you can have? How many cans of soups you can have? How much bread you can have? We're in the fucking times where they want to control everything. How much electricity you can use, how much water at home you can use for your baths. We're living in that time. We're living in it. I know there's some fuckers in Chicago are thinking like, this is a great thing. But we're in that time. How ridiculous it is. How ridiculous it is. I mean, here's the thing. It's odd enough that we, now are getting word about coronavirus, since China is the fuckers who shipped it over here. I blame China. China is a shithole of a fucking country that needs to be taken off the map. I'm just saying. I hate China as much as the next person. I don't like the country. I don't know why they worship this bald Asian man with paintings and everything everywhere. I mean, China is a shithole of a country. And I'm in for the coronavirus. So, that's what I'm saying. I support the protest China. Dictate. That's why I believe this conspiracy theory that they created this coronavirus to get people from protesting in the streets. I don't know if it's just me, but I believe theory that they created this virus, unleashed it to prevent people from protesting in the streets against the dictatorship and the hard leadership
and stuff. I don't know why. I just believe that theory. I believe China's that fucking evil of a government to do that.
So.
Anyway. Yeah, so I have a doctor's appointment. Hopefully they're not packed. If there's people fucking going in, you got people wearing masks and all. I'm like, I'm no way. Bill and not see the doctor and sit in there with people wearing masks and coughing and shit. I am staying home.
As weird as that is, like I am not going, going there, Yeah, so I mean, mainly for me, I've been healthy, so I really don't need to go to the doctor and stuff. I am good, So anyway, let's get to other crazy things that's happening. I want to talk about this one, WWE and their WrestleMania. I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed about the XFL ending. I know that it's revealed that WWE WrestleMania in jeopardy as Hillsborough County says it might pull the plug. Employees disappointed how the company is handling WrestleMania. I recently watched the SmackDown that they had in the Performance Center, and I will say this: I am happy that they did not act stone-faced while doing SmackDown live. I'm happy that SmackDown on SmackDown they didn't keep a stone face of like we're live on SmackDown and act like there's no crowd. They actually addressed it. They made humorous jokes about it, how short they were. People like they were very SmackDown. They were very short. Hello, love. My Catwoman joined the show in the chat, So Triple H, who was on SmackDown, I had to admit he stole the show because he actually kept the show humorous and going, and it was really interesting and cool to see him on commentary on SmackDown, talking and stuff. And I love how he was like busting Michael Cole's chops about they're live, they're in the Performance Center and stuff, and just not just acting like everything's fine in the WWE because there's no people there. My Catwoman. It was just kind of how it is. Like, it was a very interesting live show. It was pretty funny with John Cena being there, and he couldn't see the audience, because there was no one there. But it was really interesting how they did the show in the Performance Center. It was kind of, some of the matches on SmackDown were entertaining. Cesaro O'Brien was an entertaining match. It was cool to see the Elimination Chamber match with Otis and The Miz, Morrison, New Day, Kofi, Big E, and Usos, and Ziggler and Robert Roode. I would say this, like, I followed Robert Roode's career, Bobby Roode's career in TNA, and yes, we're talking about wrestling. I followed Bobby Roode's career from TNA, NWA TNA, to now, when he was in Team Canada, to Beer Money, to the It Factor, to Glorious Bobby Roode and stuff. I am really sad that Bobby Roode's career in WWE, I am sad about it, because this guy, is a great wrestler, all around great wrestler. He was the best heel term is bad guy. The term heel is bad guy. So he was the best bad guy in TNA wrestling. I don't care what people say, like EC3 or Magnus and all. Bobby Roode was one of the best bad guys in TNA wrestling, Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it. But him being in a tag team with Dolph Ziggler is a major step down. I mean, how the hell did you go from, this guy being a tag team wrestler with, Austin Aries, James Storm of Beer Money, to Dolph Ziggler? That is like the major downward spiral right there. It bothered me. I'd rather see him with Chad Gable as a tag team wrestler again than Dolph Ziggler. I mean, at least him and Gable, he would, help mold Chad Gable into this heel wrestler. Then, that's the thing they should have done. Like, they should have never made them baby faces. Chad Gable dressing up like Bobby Roode, wearing the robe and all that shit. No. Fuck no. They should have made Chad Gable into Kurt Angle 2.0. The wrestling machine. Have Gable do all these crazy... Like, he was a mat wrestler. He was like Kurt Angle. It's like, why didn't you just make this guy into like a fucking wrestling machine where he's like, I'm the best thing there is in wrestling since Kurt Angle, and just like do all these crazy things, like even heel tactics, like, all these crazy things. It's like, instead they just made this guy into like Bobby Roode Jr. Like, fuck off with that. Fuck off with that. No. And that's the thing that just bugged the fuck out of me. It's like, and now they're trying to do something. Now they made him Shorty G. What the fuck? It's like, you got Kurt Angle under contract. Why don't you just bring Kurt Angle in, have him manage Chad Gable, and make him like, the protege to Kurt Angle, the true successor, have Chad, Gable beat the shit out of Baron Corbin, who beat Angle at WrestleMania. No, they didn't do that. Instead, it's just like, we got Shorty G, boom, he's gone. Baron Corbin's King of the Ring. It's like, I fucking hate WWE at times. It's like, why can't they just hire me as a creative person? Like, I would throw out these ideas and stuff. I mean, I would get fired quickly by Vince McMahon, but I'm just, it's kind of annoying when you watch this and you're like, I could book this better. But and I'm tired of, I mean, the reason I don't like Dolph Ziggler is like Billy Gunn, Shawn Michaels, wannabe. He's a wannabe Shawn Michaels and Billy Gunn. He does the famouser, the super kick. It's just like, come up with your own fucking finishers or signature moves. I mean, yeah, the zigzag move is the stupidest move ever. You're trying to do a neck breaker. You're not Rick Rude. It's like, enough. It's like, enough. Anyway. And no, I have not watched AEW. I have no interest. But Heavy Machinery, that's who it is. Otis and the other guy. I forget his name. The other guy's really talented. He's very talented in the ring. He's talented on the microphone. It bugged the shit out of me that they did not win the Elimination Chamber. It just bugged the shit out of me. I'm like rooting for Otis. Let me look up the other guy's name. I feel bad that I don't know this other dude's name. He looks like Cassius Ohno when... I don't know why. He sort of looks like, Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno. I don't know why. He just kind of looks like them. But he also looks like Rhino. Like Rhino when Rhino started out in ECW. Tucker. Otis and Tucker. Tucker Knight. But he goes by Tucker now. Otis and Tucker. I was rooting for them to win the tag team titles. I was hoping to see them win, and it's just like they never. It bugs the shit out of me. It's like they push them to get everybody to root for them, which everybody's rooting for Otis and Tucker. And I hope they don't split these guys up and make Otis like the singles competitor and Tucker's like a jobber. They better not fucking do that. These two guys are like the best thing going on in SmackDown tag team and stuff. I was so aggravated that they didn't let these guys win. And there's like anyone who deserves to win the tag team titles, it's not the Usos. They already got it before. I got a message from my uncle. He was like, I bought the entire, Lois and Clark Superman comics and Son of Superman. I bought him like issues of like I gave him issues of Lois and Clark when Rebirth Superman sort of comes to. Yeah, it's sort of like the before this hell of Rebirth Superman and all that. But anyway, like the New Day shouldn't win the tag team titles. Ziggler and Rude definitely shouldn't win because they suck as a tag team. They they are awful as a tag team. As much as I've been watching SmackDown, I've been catching up on SmackDown and stuff. Like, I remember my dad was just like, why can't we just buy the fucking network card? Why do we have to watch it on Hulu? I hate these commercials. Because they play like the same commercials over and over again. And stuff. Like, it is just awful commercials. But, anyway. Yeah, it's just like, we've been watching it. We don't have the WWE Network. We buy like the 1 month card, like which is like $9.99, and now they have like get 3 months of it for I forget how much. I think like over I think 25 or something. I forget. Like you get 3 months of it, and it's like I don't want to. I'd rather have the month. Like if I get fed up, I don't have to watch it. But I got it like last year to watch WrestleMania, and that was like the biggest mistake because holy shit, it was like 4 hours. 4 hours of WrestleMania. And it wasn't even good. Like I couldn't even believe I sat through 4 hours of live WrestleMania. We even sat through it again with Royal Rumble. Like the best part of Royal Rumble was Brock Lesnar beating the shit out of Elias with a guitar. That was amazing. Like, I can't stand Elias. I used to like Elias when he was a bad guy, and all that. But now they make him like this hippie type person. And he was coming out playing the guitar and, doing that walk with Elias. And I was just like, please just have Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of this dude and be done with it. And he comes down to the ring. He says something stupid, which gets Lesnar running out of the ring, and Lesnar beats him up. Then he takes, Paul Heyman hands him the guitar, and he hits him in the back with the guitar, which was like a real guitar, not a prop honky-tonk man type guitar. A actual real guitar. And I was just like, this is amazing. I don't know why. I was just aggravated with it because I got aggravated with the whole damn program where they had Elias, humiliate Rockstar Spud, now Drake Maverick. I don't know why I'm talking about wrestling. I don't know why. I usually talk about comics, now we're talking about wrestling. And I got annoyed with it because I thought, like, man, this would be the perfect setup to put EC3 back together with Rockstar Spud because they were a funny duo in TNA wrestling. They were funny. They were heelish, but, funny. And I was just like, this would be perfect. It would finally give EC3 something to do, finally. You're wasting this guy's talent. Do they do it? No. Nope. Instead, you have Elias Spank, Rockstar Spud in the middle of the ring, which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. It was the dumbest thing. Because Dana Brooke is, flirting with Dave Bautista of Guardians of the Galaxy. Who gives a shit? That's the whole fucking thing they did it for. And then they have her stand, pin Rockstar Spud and stand over him, celebrating with her new BFF Elias. And I thought, like, this is the stupidest horse shit I have ever seen on television. And I've seen a lot of bad WWE horse shit. Mae Young giving birth to a hand. Dumb. But it actually was entertaining and funny. But dumb. So, that's bad where the birthing of a plastic rubber hand covered in thick goo coming out of a 90-year-old lady's vagina is more fucking funny than this. That is pretty bad when you think about it. It was the dumbest shit I have ever seen. Ever. And it's actually more funnier than the whole Elias, Dana Brooke, Rockstar Spud thing. I mean, like, you could have promoted a match between and build a superstar up like EC3 in this whole thing, but instead you're like, Dana Brooke is, flirting with Dave Bautista of, Guardians of the Galaxy, this James Bond film. It's like, who gives a shit? See, even the cats disagree. So, anyway, I was so annoyed rewatching old SmackDown stuff, and actually found the episode with no audiences more entertaining. But anyway, speaking of Corona, stores are out of bread. It is insane. It is really insane how it is how people are freaking out over it. The Rock and Vin Diesel's feud will become Marvel versus DC in 2021. The new Superman arrives in DC Comics this summer. New Superman arrives in DC Comics this June. Action Comics 1024 assembles an all-star team of creators as they take on Superman's brand new difficult mission in the DC universe. That is a cartoony artwork cover I've ever seen. This, oh shit, it's J.R. Romita Jr. He's returning to Superman. He did the artwork for Superman during, I think, New 52. So this June, Action Comics 1024 assembles an all-star team of Brian Michael Bendis, I wouldn't consider him an all-star, but you're stretching it out a bit. But John Romita Jr., Klaus Janson takes on the last son of Krypton as a new Superman arrives in DC Comics this summer. This is One Has It All this June. Solicitation reveals that Metropolis under siege as the villain Lex Luthor, as turmoil over the truth of Superman's identity continues to grip the city, as reporter Clark Kent is back on the beat at the Daily Planet in this all-new Superman saga starting this summer. I love how they put all new. I love how they put it like under all new. The events of Brian Michael Bendis' run at the helm of Superman has created a new circumstances and a new mindset, as the Man of Steel, Lois Lane, have both lost their parents and their son is off to university. Time out. How the fuck did he... How in the hell is John Kent now at the university? How? Like, I know Bendis had this, fantasy of like aging him up and stuff. I know he had like this huge, like, we're gonna age him up, we're gonna have this angsty teenager, rebelling against, fuck you, Dad, and all this shit type of thing. I know Bendis loves that type of drama, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. It's like, when I think about it, reading the symptoms of coronavirus might actually be more entertaining than reading Bendis' Superman. I can't believe I said that. but somewhere Bendis is like, I have this idea, we're gonna do this, Superman story, we're gonna have this like corona type virus where Clark Kent is so vulnerable and he doesn't know what to do, and Lois is coughing and all this stuff, Clark Kent doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. We're gonna have that. And someone's like, are you talking about coronavirus? Shh, no. It's gonna be like some alien thing, like Clark and Lois. Clark finds out it was after intimacy of lovemaking that got Lois sick. That's somewhere Bendis in his head is like, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have to do that type of story. It's gonna be perfect. Somewhere Bendis is thinking that. I know somewhere he is. He's thinking of it because he's an evil shit. So, with John going off to university brings a shift of perspective for the two, and complicating concerns of recent revelation of Superman's identity, events captured in Bendis' Superman heroes and Superman villains. Seriously, he wrote like 2 series of this because, again, revealing Superman's identity. You done it in New 52. You even ripped the title off. With the sudden truth brought to the light, past foes and are newly emboiled, and old friends grapple with a shocking reality. John Romita Jr., his trademark pencils on DC Superman and Superman Year One, by far the best Superman story ever told by Frank Miller, captured a range of Krypton's favorite son from youth across the span of years as Defender of the Earth. Romita's dynamic style technique. I'm pretty sure Glenn from Comic Book Palace would disagree. By the way, watch that show. I love that show, Comic Book Palace. Like, it is by far, if you're one of those people who love comic book men, like if you're a fan of it like I am, which is on Tubi TV now, you can watch it for free, the entire series, and you're looking for like that type of show, Comic Book Palace, by the way, they're not the sponsors, and not asking me to do this, but I'm just saying this as a person who loves comic books and going to comic book stores. This is the show. It started from a documentary in 2013. Now it's a TV series on Comic Book Palace's YouTube channel. I highly recommend it. It is a fun, entertaining show to watch. And you get people who are actual comic book readers and people who actually love comics. They are on there. They even have like they had some comics on there that I've never heard of. I end up checking out, and I really enjoy them. You know, they're not. Some of them are like fantasy novels, like involving elves and wizards and all that. And some are like classic, comics, stuff. I highly recommend Comic Book Palace. It's a really fun show. Glenn is funny as hell. A lot of the people in there are funny, so I recommend it. It's a fun show. Glenn does not like John Romita Jr. That's why I made that reference about dynamic and stylized technique. So, Comic Book Palace is a great show. Check it out. It's really fun. It's one of my favorite shows on YouTube. Display and Superman often even complemented in the DC series. Peerless inking industry legends Klaus Janson combined the artistry of Romita Jr. and Janson's immortalized in the rival publisher Marvel Comics' twisted Captain America Castaway in Dimension Z from 2012, and the artist shared enhanced expectations for the summer star-studded Superman collaboration. Here's something also interesting. You ready for this one? This article pissed me off. For those who don't know, I love Batman comics. I'm a diehard Batman fan. Superman has killed Batman in official DC canon. Comic book fans can argue whether Superman or Batman would win in a fight. It's easily Batman would kick the shit out of Superman. Fuck that character. Superman, as you can tell. I know a lot of people ask me, like, why do you hate Superman? Why do you have this hatred towards Superman? It's simple. Superman is fucking boring. He's a boring character. I'm sorry. Like, I know my uncle loves Superman. And he kind of knows I don't sort of care about Superman. I really don't care for Superman as a character. But he kind of knew I was a fan of Frank Miller, and he's like, yeah, dude, Superman, you're one. It's entertaining, funny. I read it, and it was... I laughed at book 2. Is where Superman and a mermaid did it. I couldn't help... I couldn't help but laugh at it. It was by far the funniest thing, because all you see is like Superman walking underwater discussing intimacy with a mermaid. In my mind, I'm like, did he just fuck a mermaid? I couldn't help but laugh at it. I even messaged my uncle, like, did you read book 2? He goes, yeah, it was really funny and entertaining. I'm like, did Superman just do it with a mermaid? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, what? He goes, I know. It was pretty funny. And I'm like, how? How would he do it with a mermaid? And he goes, I don't know. Frank Miller wrote it. I was just like, I wish Miller had Twitter. I'd be like, how the hell did Superman do it with a mermaid? I don't even think female mermaids have vaginas. How? How? I was like lost for words. I'm like, there's no like octopus lady and under the sea to give this mermaid a human body thing for 1 hour or two. How? How in the hell did... I would love to be a fly on the wall. I wish they would do a reality series for DC Universe where you follow the writers and editors of DC Comics as they make the comics. I would want a camera in there with Frank Miller, Jim Lee, and Dan Didio discussing Book 2. Going over the script and be like, Frank, come here. In this one script thing, I'm sure Frank's like, yeah. Superman is talking about intimacy with a mermaid as he's walking underwater. And Frank's like, yeah, I mean, the mermaid and Superman had like a strong, intimate connection. Frank, this mermaid has no sex organs like a human being. What? I wish they would have that. I wish they would have that on camera. That discussion. Because what the actual fuck was it? And then, in Book 2, I mean, you had Batman there. Batman was awesome. Was just awesome. Because I was like, I had my fingers crossed, like, please, just someone tell Miller to do Batman Year 2. You had Superman and Wonder Woman have this flirtation thing. And I was just like, my God, I would love for them to do an expansion book where Superman talks about his past romances with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's like, yeah, I had Steve Trevor, was my last love, and Superman's like, my last love was a mermaid. I wish they would have just done that. And Batman's like, the fuck? That would be the most amazing book ever. But I was reading this book and I had to like read this page 3 times for my mind to process this whole thing. Because I gotta find the page. I have it on my laptop. I planned this show out because originally this was going to be Monday discussion, but we're not doing Monday podcast because I have a doctor's appointment, or they told me they're going to draw blood and do blood work and all that. I'm just like, last time I did that, I was not in a good mood. So, and I don't want to do the show tomorrow and be in a bitchy mood about everything, because you know what I mean, like I just wouldn't want to do the show and be crabby and angry. Alright, see, even Google has Superman Year 1 mermaid. Okay. I don't have the book, even though I should buy it, but I don't like Superman books. But I should buy it one day. We'll just do a narration. Here we go. Here's the narration of Superman. But my first... this is a mermaid. But first, my sailor man, my Superman. But first, let's frolic. Let us frolic. Superman. That impossible voice. That impossible laugh. Oh. And he's laughing too. And he kisses her. And all the world is magic. And he touches her. And the seabed shakes. I'm sure Superman's like, okay, move your tail. I know somewhere in my mind, I have these jokes in my mind. I have like pages of these going on. I'm sure Superman's like, I'm not putting your fin in my mouth. I wonder if Miller wrote this thinking that this book would be entertaining from a Batman fan's point of view of insulting Superman fans. If he did this as a way to insult Superman fans, then this is entertaining and perfect. The silent sleep without time. He wakes up and he's alone, and she's gone. Then comes her mind gently and whispers still, laughing, still mocking. On your feet, soldier, up and at him. I'm sure she's laughing like, I put my fin in his mouth. I wonder if Aquaman is like in far distance watching, going like, what in the actual fuck did I just see? You know that? And then he walks and he's in the Superman suit. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, did he just become Superman after this whole thing? Did he in his mind go like, my mermaid lover inspired me to be Superman? I just wonder that in my mind. I wonder. And I'm sure somewhere Aquaman like flies off because you won't believe this. Would you imagine like the Hall of Justice meeting before Superman enters, him and Wonder Woman as a couple, and Aquaman is just like like, and Superman, Wonder Woman's like, we're officially a couple, and Aquaman's like like going like, and the Flash is just like trying not to laugh, and they're just like laughing and all that, and all of a sudden Superman goes to Batman. It's like, well, what are they laughing about? Batman's like, your past lover was a mermaid, now you're with Wonder Woman. Explain that. And Batman's probably like, and we got medical records in the Hall of Justice of your past doctor's visit. You had fish eggs in your belly. Like, somewhere Miller is laughing at all of us. And I'm happy I'm laughing because this is just dumb. Shit. Shit. Anyway, I'd be honest with you, I kind of want a Frank Miller Superman run. When I think about it. If Miller writes, I will admit the John Romita and Jansen cover is really cool. You have you have Clark Kent walking into a bar, which is Clark Element, and he's just wearing a shirt, blue jeans, and he's wearing a Superman shirt. Definitely some 52 because they did that. What do you think about it? I kind of want a Superman Frank Miller run. If they ever go like, we're replacing Bendis with Miller, I would buy Superman comics. I would. I would buy it if Miller is going to be writing the crazy shit that he wrote. I mean, his All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder was kind of dumb. I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't. I mean, it was really interesting to see, one of the greats of the 80s, Devil, Dark Knight Returns, Year One, Ronin, 300, Sin City, teaming up with one of the greatest artists of the 90s and 2000s, Jim Lee. It was really cool. It was really, really cool to see those two guys team up. Because they both complemented each other. They, you sort of see the best of the 80s and 90s and 2000s together on a book and stuff. And it sucks that they didn't finish it. It sucked that Didio and company ended it. They just decided, we're ending it because they weren't selling. Which is weird, because it's the reason they weren't selling was that they weren't coming out on time. They were, taking their time. And in all honesty, it shouldn't have been a monthly book. Miller is a perfectionist in his work. And the same is with Jim Lee. Jim Lee is fucking perfect. He's a perfect artist. And stuff. I mean, look at, his Batman Hush. Look at even All-Star Batman, which is, I have the single issues and I have the trade paperback. I loaned it to my uncle. My uncle never read it, so he loaned me he loaned me Superman Year One. I was like, I got All-Star Batman here. Read that. So, and I think he one of the crazy Miller stories, but Jim Lee and all that. I wish they would have just done it a graphic novel instead of just monthly books, because it didn't work. And it was hard to see them try to top Grant Morrison's run on Superman. And I will admit, All-Star Superman is actually a good animated film. I mean, it's basically, Superman, having the ultimate crisis of him dying, and he has no way to save himself. It is really that good of a, of an it's a good comic, and it's also a great animated film. And All-Star Batman was just the most. I would say it like this: you will see an angsty teen version Batman who's trying to impress Robin of check out my Batmobile, the Batcave. And one thing that is still to this day, I will admit, I won't admit it, I will say I agree with everybody that Batman manhandling Alfred and hitting Alfred is out of Batman's character, very out of character Batman. Alfred is, Tom King put it best. Alfred is Bruce Wayne's father, his true father. The man who raised Bruce and made him the man he is today is Alfred. And stuff. Alfred is, the father and the grandfather of the, family. And Batman punching Alfred is not fucking cool. Not fucking cool at all. You can have him punch Green Lantern all you want, but Alfred is off limits. I mean, I will admit, the whole Batman and Robin painting walls and themselves yellow to weaken Green Lantern is very stupid. It's very stupid. It's a very stupid book. So, for me, it was just that. I didn't like All-Star Batman. I didn't like it that much. I love the artwork. That's basically the whole point of the book I liked, was the artwork. The writing, there's some that's like, I left with questioning common sense. Like, common sense would come in on that one, so... So, for me, I don't, I like Superman Year. I want to see Miller do more, but, of course, I don't know when Miller did, like, I think, Dark Knight. He did another Dark Knight book where you had, I think you had Carrie Kelly and you had, Gesundheit. I coughed. Thank you. Gesundheit. German word when someone sneezes. I needed that. Thank you. I usually say when someone sneezes, God bless you, and it's like, everyone freaks out. Yeah, you said it right. Let's see. I'm gonna see what Frank Miller is doing. I wonder if there's like any news of any Miller books. So, let's see. Wow, he's 63. I didn't know that. Who's Frank Miller's first choice to draw Batman Year One? In the latest comic book Legends Revealed, to find out about which artist Frank Miller first asked to draw Batman Year One before Dave Mazzucchelli. I cannot imagine anybody drawing Batman Year One, because Mazzucchelli did a fantastic job on it. Alright. Sorry, my throat had to clear it up. Let's see. Frank Miller really wanted Trevor Von Eyden to draw Batman Year One. It's true, back in 1986, Batman 404 was released. I do have that one, by the way. I have the original printings of Batman Year One. I love that book so much. I don't know why. I know a lot of people have hate towards it. I love that book. I don't know why. I guess being, a teen, depressed and all that, and I ended up like reading Batman Year One. I just sort of like loved the artwork, the writing. Everything about it. It was just like, it was one of those books where I actually really wanted to see the film of it. I really wanted to see a live action movie of it, because it was just that good of a book. And Nolan did it with Begins. Batman Begins, is one of my favorite Batman films, live action, because Nolan hit all the right check marks of what I wanted to see in a Batman movie, solo Batman film. And the reason I love Affleck's portrayal of Batman was that it was actually the version of Batman I always wanted to see, in a way. I wanted to see this older, pissed off, vulnerable Batman. This pissed off Batman, vulnerable Bruce Wayne, is sort of in this state of that he never wanted to be in, which is older and broken down a bit, but has to come back and beat the shit out of Superman, which was perfect. But I always have that love of Miller's Batman.
Millerverse of Batman. Or Miller Batverse.
Yeah.
In a way, it's actually funny enough. I sort of, in a way, I always, in a way, like, now I have, like, a timeline of Miller's Batman where Batman Year One, then you get Last Crusade, then you get Dark Knight Returns.
And I'm skipping Strikes Again, okay? I read it.
I don't like it. So, yeah, oddly enough, I sort of like created like this and Millerverse type things. I always wanted to see, but do I count Year Two and Year Three in the Miller timeline of Batman? No, because Miller didn't write it, so it's like, why do I include it? I mean, even though like Todd McFarlane did artwork for Year Two, as much as I'm a McFarlane fan, and I do love the McFarlane action figures that DC Comics is doing, I don't count it. I would love to see. Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes up next for the McFarlane DC figures. I have the Batman the Animated Series one. I seen the Harley Quinn one. I seen the Batman Detective Comics 1000. I like them. But for me, I want to see the Catwoman one. I love to see like a Dark Knight Returns one. I would love to see, the 90s Catwoman, Jim Ballant version, the purple suit Catwoman. I know one thing they're doing that I am totally going to buy is the animated series one of Batman Bloodstorm, where it has like Vampire Batman and the Batman the Animated Series design. I am definitely buying that one. I saw it on this I saw it on Twitter and Instagram, and I was like, I'm buying it. Like a vampire like Batman Bloodstorm, where it has like this it has the animated series design of Batman in that character, and there's like blood and dripping out of his mouth and stuff, and he had like the sharp teeth and stuff with like the snarled look. I was just like, perfect. I was like, I'm buying that. That is so cool. And for me, I'm buying it. I have to buy it because it's such a cool action figure, and it'll go great with my somewhat growing Batman the Animated Series stuff, which I have like in my mind, I want to buy everything the animated series because I love Batman the Animated Series. But like if I have to like buy the action figures, like I will buy like the collectible ones that look cool, but ones that I'm really, really wanting to buy is the Kenner Batman the Animated Series figures, because those I had when I was a kid, and those were the ones that I created Batman stories out of, like having Batman fight Donatello for some odd reason, which actually did happen in the comics. The Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the animated movie they did, which I really like. It's a pretty funny film, but I kind of want to see them do a sequel. I'm surprised they haven't announced like they're doing a sequel to it. They should. I mean, they kind of left off with a cliffhanger, didn't they? Like, if I remember correctly, like they sort of like left the door open for that movie. But the comics, though, the comics is weird. And I know James Tynion, or Tyan, or whatever his name is, the one who's writing Batman, wrote it. Like, it was really, like, to me, really weird. Like, I don't know why. I guess it was like the whole. I have to ask this question.
hopefully Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans could respond. Like, I love TMNT. I am not the biggest expert of it. It's like, when it comes to like Sonic the Hedgehog, I am not an expert on it. But when the hell did they decide to, like, we're gonna ship? When did they decided to do Donatello and April? Like, when did Donatello and April have, like, was it Donatello or was it Leo? I forget. But when did they decided to do that? Like, when did they? Because I read the comic one. It was, I think, TMNT 3, Batman TMNT 3, and they had, like, I think it started from the animated series. Like, didn't they have, like, in the animated series where they had, like, Donatello and April? Donatello has a crush on April or something. Like, when I saw that, I was just like, no. Like, no. No. And now it's weird and ridiculous. Like, this whole thing about it. Like, I know it came from Tumblr. Because something that weird had to come from Tumblr. It had to. Like, I know Tumblr creates weird shit. I mean, you know, they romanticize serial killers and, you know, all that, but but the whole thing about that is just messed up. It's messed up in so many ways possible. But no. So, for me, I saw it and I was just like, no. Absolutely not. Like, I've never in my mind thought that April O'Neil would go in a romantic relationship with a turtle humanoid. I can't imagine that. Like, in my mind, I can't imagine that happening at all. At all. It's kind of like the idea of Catwoman dating a cat man. Like, an actual humanoid cat man. Like, I can't imagine that. Even though, like, they tried to do it in the animated series, trying to, like, romanticize the cat beast type thing, and Selena Kyle having a soft spot in her heart for him. No. That is just wrong on so many levels and stuff. And it's like,
it's almost like, well, it's basically bestiality. Like, you can't humanize that. It's fucking gross. It's like that
one. It reminds me of that episode of Opie and Anthony where they watched this disgusting ass documentary
about.
It's funny. It's funny though, because it's funny, especially.
Show. It was like
one of my favorites. It's one of those things I always kept secret that I listen to because they say things and do things that you can't, you know, the kid cannot listen to. But it's
like it's
in the YouTube, you could watch the
Not making.
Something out of Saturday Night Live, because they I think that's what they said it. I think they said like they thought it was like my voice is getting glitchy. I got a glitch. Is it? But anyway, the episode.
It started. What about now?
Is it glitchy now, or yes, is it glitchy, or no, it's not glitchy? It's fixed? Okay.
It started out with these two women
who are... They look like
hamburger or something. No wait, not hamburger. It's not hamburger helper. They're making meatloaf. That's what they're making. They're making meatloaf, and they're talking about their first time with a dog, an actual dog, and I remember hearing it. I'm going like, what the fuck am I listening to?
And it's funny how Opie and Anthony's response is. Anthony's like making jokes about it.
He is sitting there going like, what the fuck are we watching? what are we
watching? Why are you... What?
It is like the craziest episode. It's besides the one episode. It's besides the one where Opie and Anthony watched this French film
because the movie My Baby is Black is is the French people's attempt of trying to make a discussion about that black people. It was back in the 60s. It was around the 60s, you know, because it's in black and white. But it's archives. You know, back in the day in the 60s, they were trying to, you know, the French are trying to create discussion. You know, do it in the longest way possible. They actually make it more offensive than trying to make positivities of it, you know. The French are idiots.
And watching this movie, I'm just like, the French should never make a movie. They should never make a movie. Like, I seen crazy shit. And watching the YouTube video and listening to the episode of Opie and Anthony, I'm just thinking like, why was this film made in America and stuff? And
the thing is, the French are idiots.
Even are from France.
And let me tell you, it is not nice.
Like, I was reading a family history book. I did find one book on my dad's side about my dad's side of the family. And I read one about on my mom's side. Finding out one of my ancestors from France was an executioner. I remember hearing that. I remember not hearing it, but reading it. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. That's well, hearing that of your ancestors and executioner probably does get heads rolling because you're like, this is peachy. But yeah, I found a book that's pretty cool. Of my great 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 grandfather, and it was really weird though. It's like it's actually a book that is actually on the list of banned books. And hearing that,
I was just like, this is so perfect. My family is in a book that is banned in the Show Me State. I'm like, this is perfect. This is just wonderful to hear that. Like, to know that my family is in a book that's banned in Missouri. Even though it's about, let me find it. It's an interesting cover. I'll let you find the title of it. I got a photo that was sent to me of it about it, and I got the book. Oh, here it is. Heroes, martyrs, survivors of the Civil War. And I love how they put it, like, here's how this is how much of an asshole a lot of people are. It was $18 book. The Flowers of New England, the Battlefield of Presidency. For the Presidency, Ulysses S. Grant. The story behind the historical markers, the German Revolutionary, the Union, and the Union General. The Other Side. This is where my great grandfather, hopefully I remember that correctly if I said that, is on the other side. I'm kind of used to that term, the other side, because you play kickball, you're on the other side. But it's pretty cool though. He's like in the list of Robert E. Lee, the General Lee. Nathan Bedford Forrest, James Longstreet, Joseph Wheeler, Wade Hampton III, Theodore Roosevelt and the last of the Black Republicans. So, yeah, so it's pretty interesting stuff. So, I kind of want to talk about one final thing. Ow. Had to pop my neck. That hurt. So, one thing I want to talk about is the crazy pandemic of the coronavirus. They recently, of course, announced that they are suspending a lot of TV shows. They stopped filming of The Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman, and many other shows due to the paranoia of the corona. It makes me think of that song Corona by Minutemen. I don't know why. It's kind of funny. But anyway, they, of course, stopped filming. And it is insane. Like, recently, I love this one. I have to play this one real quick. This is a New York Post. What to watch on this TV weekend to hide from coronavirus. You ready for this one? This is the New York Post. Genterfield, now available on Netflix. Avengers Endgame. On Disney Plus. Why would you want to watch a movie with the term Endgame in the title? Why would you watch it? Big Time Adolescence on Hulu. Never heard of it. Friday the 13th. Is this a joke? 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. I love how they have in the post, which is kind of weird. Big Time Adolescence. It has that Pete Davidson who looks like a fucking undead zombie. I'm sorry, but Pete Davidson's fucking ugly looking dude. He's an ugly looking dude. I love how in Friday the 13th in the photo they have Kevin Bacon with blood coming out of his mouth. People to watch it. Amazing Stories. Never heard of it. All the President's Men. Oh, this is about the Watergate thing. Shit. That's a good movie, by the way. It's about Dustin Hoffman, Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman play Bob Woodrow and Carl Barnstein. More Funny Women of a Certain Age. Westworld. I haven't watched it. And finally, Twilight Breaking Dawn. I'd be honest with you, I would rather watch All the President's Men and Twilight than sit through Friday the 13th. I'm being honest with you. I'd rather sit through Twilight Breaking Dawn than watch Kevin Bacon and Friday the 13th. Just saying. I'd rather watch that movie. And it's actually not a bad movie. I watched it. Not bad. Here's another one. America loses comfort food as daytime TV talk shows and late-night comics have suspended production over the coronavirus. Well, shit. Coronavirus affected Supernatural. The TV show Supernatural announced they will suspend production on the final season. The 100 will try to finish their series finale. The final seasons of CW's two popular shows, Supernatural and The 100, have caught logistic nightmares to creating the sweep of the coronavirus pandemic. They announced that the cast and crew that Supernatural, with their 15th and final season, is suspending production. If the long break, while the government is trying to find and get the coronavirus under control, Supernatural is, of course, announcing their production suspending. Jared Padalecki, and there's more delay of production of Supernatural will impact Jared Padalecki's follow-up of CW's Walker, the reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger. Oh shit, I was looking forward to that. Well, Supernatural's still on the air, so that's good news. damn, I was looking forward to Walker, Texas Ranger. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard for him to, get in that show, Walker, Texas Ranger. I mean, he has big cowboy boots and a 10-gallon hat to fill because Walker, Texas Ranger starred one of the greatest karate masters of all time, Chuck Norris. I mean, Chuck Norris is so tough, he has a third fist in his beard. He will punch you with his beard. That's how tough Chuck Norris is. By the way, that's a joke from Family Guy. I was hoping like he would do like... I was kind of wanting to see Jared Padalecki and the one dude from the one dude who played Green Arrow in Smallville. I wanted to see those two guys do the Dukes of Hazzard reboot. Like, that would be really cool. That would be a good show, but people would get offended. I mean, not offended, but triggered by the General Lee and the Confederate flag and all that. They would get so pissy about that. They would get upset about that one. But yeah, I hated the Dukes of Hazzard movie. They had Sean William Scott, Johnny Knoxville, Jessica Simpson in it. Like, the weird thing about it is, like, they casted the perfect two actors to play Uncle Jesse and Boss Hogg. You had Willie Nelson and the late great Burt Reynolds as Boss Hogg. Burt Reynolds was awesome as Boss Hogg. Like, you couldn't find anybody better to play Boss Hogg than Burt Reynolds. Smokey the Bandit, like Smokey and the Bandit. The Bandit is Boss Hogg. How awesome is that? Like, I love that movie, Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. It's a good film. It's not good. It's a great film. Great film. And like he was also in one movie that everyone always cracks jokes about it. Anytime you come to like the South or somewhere, Deliverance. He was in that movie. Like, Deliverance is really a good film. The dueling banjo scene is like epic. That is an epic film scene. John Voight and Burt Reynolds are in that one. That is a good film as well. So I recommend that. Like, I recommend like old films to watch because someday somewhere someone's gonna get offended and they're gonna be like, that has to go. Like Gone with the Wind. Like they're trying to get rid of that film. I'm waiting for them to get rid of Wizard of Oz, just for reasons. That's my oldest sister's favorite film. My oldest sister, who's like a diehard Deadpool fan, like she loves Wizard of Oz. She has like the Wizard of Oz plate. She has like the Dorothy Barbie doll. Like, she loves Wizard of Oz. That's like her one happiness of things. Like she just, I don't know why, she loves Wizard of Oz. Like, she always loved that film. I think growing up, like, that was like her all-time favorite movie. Like, if anyone says like anything bad about it, she will shoot them. I'm pretty sure of it. She'll probably do like the Dale Grip, like, go to hell. So that's one thing that's pretty interesting. For those who don't know, like I recommend Deliverance because it is one of the scariest movies ever. Like, most people talk about Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw. Like, Texas Chainsaw is really great. I love Texas Chainsaw. Halloween, Nightmare on Elm. Everyone always talks about how scary those films are. Like, but if you watch Deliverance, that is a scary movie because that is a terrifying film to watch because, like, you're in a rural area where you don't know what you're getting into. So anyway, well, we're over in 60 minutes, so anyway, we're gonna wrap up the podcast. I got other things to do. I don't know what, but yeah. Anyway, there won't be a show tomorrow. I'm sorry to say that. Again, have doctor appointment, blood work. Don't feel like, I don't feel like doing it tomorrow, but but I have to get checked out, which, by the way, I'm fine. I don't have coronavirus. I don't have any of that shit. I wash my hands. I don't touch my face unless I have to wash my face, but I don't have any of that. Just getting the heart checked out, getting blood work done, see how I'm doing. Basically, that's it. What I'm doing. Yeah, so for me, that's basically what I'm going to the doctor to do, and I do not look forward to it because I know my doctor will be hammering out questions. He's going to be like, how are you doing? How's your health? Are you eating right? Are you exercising? Basically he's going to be asking a lot of fucking questions, which I don't look forward to. I like my doctor. He's a good doctor. I'm glad he's asking me all these questions, but it's just like, I don't look forward to being questioned at like 8 in the morning, where I cannot even drink caffeine before going in there, because the only thing you can drink is water before you have to do blood work. And you can't eat anything. So I'm going to be cranky, because when I don't eat anything, I get cranky and I get angry, because I want food. I get cranky when I don't eat. Like, I don't want to get up out of bed, brush my teeth, get dressed, go to the doctor, can't eat anything, can't drink caffeine. I'm just going to be a cranky person throughout the car ride going there, because luckily I'm not the only one who's going to do the same thing. My dad's doing the same thing, and he's going to drink coffee either way. He doesn't care. He's a person who doesn't live by the rules. So for me, I don't look forward to it. The reason I have to go and do it is to make sure he does it. Because, like one time I am not making this up, this old man scheduled a doctor's appointment when the doctor's office is closed. So he could get out of it. Now he made an appointment the same day I made an appointment. So he has to go do it, because he has to get his heart and stuff checked out, because we're on the same boat on this one. So, and I have to sit. I am not making this up. This old man is like a kid. I have to sit in the same room with him to make sure he gets his blood work and everything done. It tells the doctor everything that the doctor needs to hear. It's basically, I have to take a kid to the doctor. That is basically it. I feel like... And this is a funny story about it. He one time lied to the doctor. Our old doctor. Now, our old doctor, she was not that smart to begin with. He lied to the doctor that he got a tetanus shot. And he didn't do it. He didn't get the shot.
And she asked him, like, did you get the tetanus shot? And he looks at me, I look at him, he goes, yeah, I did. I'm like, you didn't. He goes, shut up. And I walk out and I'm like, you did not get a tetanus shot. He goes, shut up to hear it. I was like, and we walk out there outside. And I said, like, you did not get a tetanus shot. He goes, yeah, I did. Remember that day I went to the doctor. I was like, I was with you. You didn't get the shot. He goes, well, they don't know that and they don't care. Like, he doesn't like getting shots because he doesn't like needles. That's the reason of it. And he goes, well, I don't want a shot in my rear end. I was like, they're not going to give you a shot in the rear end. This isn't steroids. You aren't Mark McGuire. You're getting a shot in the arm. That is it. They jam it in there. I was like, they're not going to jam the needle in there. They're not like the doctors out of American Horror Story Asylum. They're not going to jam a needle somewhere.
And stuff. And
for me, it's just like, I get a shot. Like, one time I had to get a flu shot, and blood work at the same time last year. And I remember they gave me the shot. They draw my blood. I was like, is that it? They're like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, good. Like, I will sit there and watch them
draw my entire blood out of my arm. Not the entire blood, but blood out of my arm.
in a small, like, tube thing. How's your morning going? They're like, oh, it's good. I'm like, yeah. They're like, is it hurting? I'm like, no, I'm fine. They're like, oh, okay, you want the shot? I was like, yep, just put it in the same arm. And I'm done. Out the door. Yeah. Like, luckily I'm not getting another shot. I'm just getting blood work done and discuss how the medicine's working, how everything's doing. That's basically it. Like, and afterwards I'm getting cranky and want something to eat.
So anyway, the worst thing about the flu shot is like once you get like the shot, you sweat a bit because they're building up your immune system and all that. Like I do not like that one bit. So anyway, that's basically why I go tomorrow.
The Batman movie, the movie's still filming right here. They didn't halt production, they didn't stop it, which I bet not, because that is their $1 billion juggernaut right there. So, Batman movie's still going, as I heard, um, which I doubt they would ever stop it, because that's a movie that's going to be making them $1 billion next year. That's going to be their big juggernaut of a movie. So, yeah, anyway, I'll be back